guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Right now, in this very moment, I have one of my childhood meals, something that I grew up eating, something that it was accessible to us, it is budget friendly, and it is delicious if you prepare it the right way. It is canned sardines, or we call them pilchards, in tomato sauce. You can see them right there. It is this version right here. There's so many brands here in South Africa that we use, so whatever brand that you prefer is perfect. So I'm gonna make like a canned sardine type of gravy, or maybe essentially a stew, and I'm gonna pair it with some pap. I'll show you guys how I make my pap in a minute. So let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. Just for the sardine stew, I'm gonna go with some onion. We're gonna need some thyme, some tomato sauce, some spinach. I've got 1 cube of stock right there. I've got some ginger, some garlic, and then here are my spices. With my spices, I have got some raja, I've got some barbecue spice, and some paprika, and that is all. This is such a budget-friendly meal, and you can do it so quick. It can fit about, I think this meal on its own, because it goes with pap, it can fit about 4 people, you know, and you won't even spend more than 100 rand preparing this meal. That's like the best part about it. That's why we had it so much when I was young, growing up, because it was affordable. It was something that we could buy, and my grandmother and my mother would prepare it so differently, but both so delicious. So I have a tweak, my own version here, where I'm gonna add some spinach into it just to make it extra fresh, extra lovely, and Chef Buffy special. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my pap here, right? I'm gonna do my pap. It's not classic in any way. This is how I do my pap, beautiful people. This right here. That's not hot, that's okay. So you're gonna need a whisk, right? This is a whisk, or rufeto. Rufeto is that tool that back in Venda they do like this here, and then I'm not gonna do that. I don't have time for that. This is right here is what I'm gonna do. Make sure it's on the stove properly, right? And then you go in with that, and then you start whisking so that there are no lumps at all. Whiskey, whiskey. So essentially, in the copeterera, I'm doing what my people back home in Venda do, but using the other utensil called rufeto. I'm just, you know, it's a chef's shortcut. Trust me, it comes back to the same thing. You just keep whisking. So you want to give it time. You want to alternate between the maize meal and the whisking, so that you don't get lumps, and you don't want it to be too thick. If it's too thick, then it's not going to simmer properly, and then we won't have that beautiful Venda pap, you know? So pap is South African. Pap is literally just cornmeal, as we would call it in other countries. Here we call it maize meal. Pap is cornmeal. We started in a porridge form, and then we harden it, adding more maize meal as we go. Right, you see, I'm not happy yet there. I want it to be a bit thicker. Yep, I think that's fine. Whisk, 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 so there are no lumps. Woo. I learned this in a restaurant, and they were cooking pap, and they were whisking it, and I thought, oh my God, it's like a shortcut to peterera, you know? This is how we're gonna start our fish off. It's very simple, it's very quick, you'll see. So you're gonna go into your pan with about a tablespoon or 2 of whatever oil you prefer. I'm using extra virgin olive oil here. I know, those are 2 tablespoons of oil. This looks like it's a lot, but it's not. It's 2 tablespoons, literally, right? Bring your oil to temperature. Wait a little. I should have done that with you guys so that we don't have this waiting time. So I'm gonna go in with about 2 sprigs of thyme right there before my oil comes to temperature, so that it sort of comes to temperature with the oil, and then it infuses in the oil so that we get that beautiful thyme flavor. All right, waiting on this to come to temperature. Listen, can you hear that? That's my happy sound. Okay, so we're gonna go in with our onion now, like that there. You want to saute your onion for about a minute or 2, just for it to be translucent. Translucent literally means you can see through the onion, like it becomes like a soft see-through type of color. So you do that. Sauteing means you stir it occasionally. Right, so we don't toss. It's already aromatic in here because of the thyme. Like thyme has this beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It just fragrances your whole house. I'm sure your neighbors will be wondering, what is going on? Because hey, it's the plug. All right, while this is going, this is what I do to my garlic and my, right here, this is my garlic and my ginger. What I do to it is, I like to microplane it or grate it, right? Because I don't have time to be chopping it finely. Just be careful, my microplane is a bit broken here. I have to replace that because that's very dangerous. So you need about a thumb of ginger, not a lot. And then an entire clove of garlic. Like that there. Where is it? There's that baby. Take it out with a spoon. There you go. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking for a lot of this, just about a teaspoon of that. So we just basically made our garlic and ginger paste right there. I like for my tin fish to have a little bit of crunch. So the lesser time you saute your onion, the more crunch you're gonna have. Reduce your heat to about medium. Go in with your garlic and ginger. This burns really fast, so you don't want like a very hot pot, or else you're gonna burn your ginger and garlic. It's not gonna be pleasant, you know. There we go. You literally just want to cook the rawness of the garlic and the ginger for about, say, 30 seconds to a minute, like that there. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go in with my stock cube. I'm gonna fry it with the onions. It is so weird to fry a stock cube, I know, but this is how I figured how to do it, and it works. So I'm not gonna argue with it. It worked. I tried it, I nailed it, it worked. Anyway, sort of just like break it down until you can see it's like, there we go. Yeah. Then we go in with our spices. So your spices, you don't want to burn them at all right? Ooh, the smell, the fragrance from the spice just hit through. So you want to cook off that rawness, the floury taste in the spice. That's why we fry them a little bit. Usually people just add it on top of like the tomato before frying it. I don't like that because you can still taste that floury, woody taste, and it's not pleasant at all. So just fry your spices for about 30 seconds to a minute, tossing the entire time because you don't want to leave it burn on one side. Then you'll know when they're ready. We're going with our tomato. I told you guys, this is like the quickest recipe. So if you feel like this is happening and your spices are burning, go in with some water. Go in with a little bit of water. What you're doing is you're deglazing your pan, and essentially you are also cooling down the pan as well so that it does not burn your spices, right? Oh, that's so beautiful. So what I want to do is to cook off my tomato. I'm going to put a lid on this. It's on medium-low heat. Remember that I'm going to put a lid on it. Add a little bit of salt first, by the way, so that your tomato just cooks faster. Add a lid on that baby. Let that go for about a minute. You just want to stew the tomato until it's very soft, and then we are going to continue. Now it's been about a minute. We come back and we open this baby. Ooh, look at that. This is how I know my tomato is ready. I'm going to press down one tomato, and then it's just going to, like that there, it stews. So try to stew your tomato. Help it along with your wooden spoon or whatever spoon you have. I prefer a wooden spoon every time I'm cooking. I'm sure you've noticed that. It's just gentler on my pans and my pots. There we go. Okay. Crank up the heat a little bit to like medium high. Go in with these beautiful pilchards. or sardines in tomato sauce. Do not waste that sauce. That sauce we need. That sauce is necessary because that is flavor, right? And you just want to bring this to a simmer. That looks good already. I'm gonna go in with about a tablespoon of water. I'll add a bit more water again just to help the spinach cook, but I don't want to add it right now. Like that there. Yummy. I've got some baby spinach mixed with some normal spinach that I've just chopped and washed. Baby spinach is really soft and it takes less time to cook, which is fine, but I still want the crunchiness from this matured spinach, which is normal spinach. I don't know if you have another name for old spinach. It's old spinach, the granny kind. But no, this one here is a bit softer, so it won't cook. It won't take as much time. So there's gonna be like that variety of crunchy and softness, which we're looking for, which is gonna be great. So now our fish is ready, right? The fish is already cooked, so you don't need to worry about like the rawness of it. You can actually eat it straight from the can. I'm gonna go in with spinach there. I know there are no measurements, but this is about, how much spinach? This is about 4 to 5 cups of spinach, right? I'll definitely give you guys like the measurements on my website. So go on and check out on my website. It's on the link down below on the video. I will link it for you guys. Here we go. Ooh. So spinach wilts. I know it looks like a lot right now and it's not fitting in my pan, but it's gonna wilt, right? This is what you wanna do. Mix it around so that the heat comes to the top as well. Wilting your spinach. Mixing everything in. Oh my goodness. It's okay. It's a mess, it happens. You just keep moving. You keep moving. I don't use a bigger pot for this because you'll see, it doesn't need a bigger pot. It's just this part right here. It's just gonna take a little bit more patience, a little bit more time, but eventually it's gonna be worth it. There we go. I'm happy with this. This has been mixed through thoroughly. I'm gonna let this now go for about 5 minutes just to cook the rawness out of my spinach, but not overcook it because we're still on the nutrients in the spinach. That is why we're having this dish with spinach. You close your lid, reduce your stove to about medium, and you let this baby go for 5 minutes. So I'll be back to show you how this looks like. Oh, beautiful. This is what we cook our pap with, right? So there's a technique to this. You sort of have to like, I don't even know what, it's called onyongerera. I don't know how to say this in English. Mandiko nyongerera. We're nyongerering. It could be a word. So nyongerera your pap to make it thicker. While it's on medium heat, while it's simmering, it's sort of gonna puff the maize meal and make a mess. It's okay. You'll clean up later. So sort of be gentle, be patient here. So I'm not cooking our classic vendor pap. This is like a normal bright pap that I'm making today. I like it with this dish, but if I was cooking for my grandmother, I would not make this pap. Then you go. This is some good exercise, you know. Be patient. You want to incorporate it in there in like a folding method. You know, like you're folding in egg whites so that you don't have lumps. All right, like that there. That's what I do. Then I go. This prevents that mess. There we go. I'm gonna let it continue cooking. So you wanna reduce your heat and make sure it's like on a medium low. And then you're gonna let this go for about another 10 minutes, but turning it every 3 minutes. Just to make sure it cooks evenly because the heat won't be able to reach the top of the pap either. With my lid. Close this baby. We don't need the maize meal anymore, so put that baby away. Okay, now we go back to our fish, right? This baby has been cooking for about 5 minutes. Ooh, look at these. Oh my goodness. I didn't add any more liquid except that 1 tablespoon of water that I added. Why? Because I knew the spinach would sort of release its own water. Spinach has a lot of water, so it releases water, which is good. This is basically cooked, right? I don't like to overcook the spinach and then sort of like cook out all the nutrients in the spinach. Always finish off with your seasoning. Don't like add seasoning at once because the beef stock is very, very salty. So, and the spices that we added, they are also salty. So if you add the salt and everything at once, you could over salt your dish, and we don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, I'll let this go for another minute or two just to cook the salt I added in there, but this baby is ready. Oh, my vendor people, let me know what utsuma means. So we're just turning it the last time, making sure it's turned completely. Yeah, boy. Everything has been cooking now. We are ready to plate. We are ready to serve. Let me just check on the fish. I mean, it's been off heat, but I love the spinach part mostly. Can you hear me salivating, guys? That's what happens every time I look at this fish. Okay. It might look disgusting to you guys, but this is the only way to enjoy this. I mean, if you want to use a spoon and you prefer a spoon, go ahead. But I'm just letting you know how I grew up and how I grew up eating this meal. And this is, I'm about to go down and this is so hot, but don't worry, I'm so used to this. You gotta make sure you know, the pup. It's like eating Oreos, there's a method to this. And then you blow, you get your fish and your spinach. Because it's hot again, you blow, right? And then we eat. Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Again, that was it, guys. My sardine stew with pup sorted. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.